Lolis, the miraculous girl. Our first video for today was uploaded by Crisela Luna on YouTube. She made inquiries about the event that happened in the quiet town of San Antonio, Jalisco, Mexico. This haunting story has captivated the hearts of locals and visitors. The story starts with a terrible event that happened 26 years ago. A young girl named Lolis died after falling into a water cistern.
Y murió justamente en este lugar, por eso es que estamos grabando aquí. Este es el lugar donde ella cayó. Platícale a la gente cómo fue que perdió la vida tu hermanita en este lugar, Lucía.
Ese día cuando las explosiones de Guadalajara.
Lolis had been faithfully going to rosaries with her grandma on that fatal day, a habit she had adopted with unparalleled fervor for a young person. According to witness testimonies, she was a kind and devout child who frequently held on to her rosary beads even in her last moments. She was still clutching the rosary when her lifeless corpse was found, a moving detail that still baffles people who hear her story.
Haber perdido la vida, la sacaron con el rosario en la mano.
Sí.
¿Cómo estaba con su manita apretada?
Sí, lo traía así, no, muy así, nomás así como agarrada. Y no se le soltó su rosario.
Era una niña a la que le gustaba rezar mucho.
Many people believe that Lolis's spirit continues to age in the afterlife, performing miracles for those who visit her grave with offerings of toys and sweets. The legend of Lolis has grown over the years, and some locals even claim to have seen her ghostly figure wandering the cemetery, looking slightly older than she was when she passed away. Family relatives claim that the piano her father had purchased for her still plays on its own without the need for batteries. Crisel saw something here, which scared her to death.
Vamos a regresar nuevamente a la tumba, porque ahí dejamos los dulces y quiero ver si pasó algo. Cuidado aquí, mire, cuidado.
The footage shows what appears to be a ghost. Some people believe that these happenings are the result of myth and the power of suggestion, but the enduring mystery of Lolis encourages visitors to consider the secrets of the afterlife and the likelihood of her miraculous presence. As weird as it looks, this next story is even more difficult to believe. Real Witch. This next clip was witnessed by Danny Rocha, which he uploaded on his YouTube channel of the same name. It was around past 3 a.m. when this unforgettable encounter unfolded. It was a moment so chilling that it left those involved questioning what they had just witnessed.
But I don't know.
We stay quiet. You can hear some noises right now.
Oh shit, watch.
Fuck. What the fuck was that, man? What the fuck was that?
Hold on. Don't get too close, man. Get too close. I don't know what the fuck.
These friends ventured into this abandoned place inspired by whispered legends of a witch who is claimed to haunt the area. Strange noises echoed from the shadows as they walked in. It was quiet at first, but the sounds became louder, carrying a terrible undertone that sent chills down their spines. Then it occurred. They noticed something unsettling out of the corner of their eye. It was a figure moving in the dark. If you slow the footage down, you'll notice the witch's hair, which scared them away. The question is, was this really a witch? Or could it have been a trick of the mind, amplified by the strange isolation of the desert? While some dismiss the footage captured that night as a hoax, others insist that it's one of the most compelling encounters with the supernatural ever recorded. Speaking of ghost activities, the next video is out of the ordinary. Ghost Feet. This next video was uploaded on YouTube by Daily Mail. It involves two guys, Brandon and Taryn Hunt, who went on a trip to the historic Myrtles plantation in Louisiana. It was meant to be nothing more than a peaceful weekend getaway, but what they captured on their camera turned their visit into a story they'll never forget. The Myrtles plantation is regarded as one of America's most haunted sites and has long been linked to paranormal activity and ghost sightings. However, the Hunts were not anticipating anything unusual as they looked around the house. Later, as they reviewed their footage, they were stunned to find what appeared to be the ghostly outlines of three small children walking down the stairs and into the hallway. When you slow down the footage, you'll see the figures were faint but unmistakable. It was 3 sets of translucent feet moving silently across the floor. The discovery sent chills down their spines. Well, some have said this strange sight could have been a trick of the light or an illusion caused by the camera, but let's not forget the haunted history of the plantation as evidence of its paranormal nature. Legends surrounding the property often mention the spirits of children who once lived there, their restless souls wandering the halls in search of peace. So could this truly be proof of the afterlife? Or is it simply another mystery destined to remain unsolved? Let me know in the comments. Ghost hunting. This next video takes ghost hunting to another level, leading to intense, spine-chilling encounters. This hunting was carried out at Sandhaven Sanatorium by YouTuber Midwest Ghost Hunter. It is known as one of the most haunted locations in North Dakota and has a history steeped in tragedy, with thousands of patients passing away within its walls due to tuberculosis and other ailments. The investigator, armed with cameras and a K2 meter, ventured alone into the crumbling structure, its collapsing walls and darkened hallways adding to the already unsettling atmosphere. Reports of disembodied whispers, shadowy figures, and even demonic activity have long surrounded Sandhaven, but nothing quite prepares you for the sheer terror of experiencing it firsthand.
Former patients here.
As terrifying as these encounters were, some people may argue that the noises could be attributed to the deteriorating structure or natural acoustics, and shadows may simply be tricks of the light. However, for those who believe, the compelling evidence and first-hand experiences provide a sobering glimpse into the unexplainable. But what truly haunts this place? Is it the tortured souls of former patients, dark entities conjured by ritualistic practices, or the heavy imprint of its tragic past? You tell me. One thing is certain. This ghost hunt leaves behind more questions than answers, sparking curiosity and encouraging deeper exploration of the unknown. Ghost of a Witch. This next video was uploaded by an investigator, Franco TV, on YouTube. He went alone to a cemetery to confirm the stories he heard about a witch's tomb. The faint echo of footsteps resonates as he descends the staircase with a flashlight in hand. This is the final resting place of Ricardo, a figure associated with numerous ghost stories.
Oh, I got something. Ricardo? Buenos, me llamo Frank.
But his investigation focus was about the infamous witch whose tomb has long been a source of fear and fascination. As he gets closer, he starts to detect very faint sound, whispers, distant gunshots, and the disturbing crunch of soil beneath his feet. It sounds more like the voice of both a man and a woman.
Hello? I heard whispering in here.
If you pay attention, you can clearly hear a lot of whispers, footsteps, and female voices.
It looks like they stole everything that was here. Oh shit. I see shit. Look at the lights down there in the distance. I saw a light down there. I gotta get out of here.
As he gets closer to the witch's tomb, he sees odd black candles and bags full of odd objects, such mannequin dolls with real people's photos attached to their faces. The weight of the witch's curse seemed to still be there in the heavy air inside. The walls are stained with blood, and he feels cold to the core as a faint singing sound seems to come from nowhere. Someone was clearly standing there peeking as if it's looking for an opportunity to attack. Some may dismiss these occurrences as mental trickery motivated by fear and suggestion, but the artifacts left behind, like the dolls, carvings, and candles are tangible to show that this is real. For those who dare to visit this place, the witch's tomb is more than just a resting place. It's a portal to unresolved questions. What do you believe? Is it only my imagination, or is there really something lurking in the shadows? Let me know down in the comments. News report. This first video comes from a TikTok user at Nightmare Fuel. There's just something unsettling about a ghost appearing during a live news report, especially when it's tied to a tragic accident. The journalist was reporting on a fatal crash, and the camera panned to show the wreckage. At that moment, a faint figure appeared in the crashed car. It didn't open the door or enter visibly, it just was there. Some viewers believe it could be a spirit tied to the tragic event, possibly the soul of someone who lost their life in the crash. Others are skeptical, attributing the figure to camera glare or an optical illusion, but we have to admit it's chilling to see something so unexplained tied so closely to such a heartbreaking scene. And just as we think about what could have caused this strange moment, we have another incident that seems even harder to rationalize. Real ghost after fatal crash. Back in May 2012, the YouTube channel Paranormal Camera and Crazy Tape uploaded a video that left viewers speechless. In central Spain, a deadly car accident resulted in one death and left 2 others severely injured. A local TV crew was filming the wreckage as the car was being prepared for towing. What they captured was haunting. It was a ghost-like figure walking away from the mangled car. When you slow it down, you'll see its movements look unnaturally smooth, almost as if it wasn't constrained by the physical world. Witnesses on site didn't report seeing anything unusual, making the footage all the more mysterious. Could this be the spirit of someone who died in the accident, or just a trick of light and shadow on a misty morning? These questions linger, and they remind us of how often the paranormal intersects with moments of intense human emotion and tragedy. Speaking of legends tied to real-life figures, the next story involves one of the most infamous men in history, Pablo Escobar. The demolition of the Monaco building in Medellin, Colombia, brought with it stories as chilling as Pablo Escobar's legacy itself. As the structure that was once owned by the notorious drug lord crumbled, a video surfaced that claimed to show the ghost of Escobar. A former minister of justice shared the footage, which depicted a shadowy figure moving between 2 doors just moments before the implosion. This wasn't the first report of strange occurrences tied to Escobar's former properties. Prosecutors who worked in the building before its demolition reported feeling an oppressive energy within its walls. Some even recounted hearing unexplained noises or seeing fleeting figures. Whether it was Escobar himself or something else, the haunting presence felt by so many adds another layer of mystery to a building already steeped in dark history. But as haunting as this story is, it pales in comparison to a sighting that left someone unable to sleep in their own home. Creepy ghost sighting at window. Imagine capturing something terrifyingly unexplainable while simply fooling around with friends. That's exactly what happened when someone filmed a face staring out of the window of an abandoned room.
What was that?
Can you see that there?
Oh my days, that was creepy.
Wait, what was that? I think we should go up there and have a look.
This room had been locked for 2 years, and no one had gone inside. The person who recorded the video said they were just messing around on the green when they noticed a pale, motionless face in the window. The group decided to investigate, and the manager confirmed that the room was indeed locked and unused.
I told you it's been empty for years.
The strange thing is, the face was just there, not moving at all. Could this be a prank, or something far more sinister? No one could answer those questions, but the image stuck with them, especially since they had it all on camera. And just as this recording raised questions, another encounter involving a simple reflection left an even deeper mark. Night Ghost. This clip was uploaded by TikTok user at Rachel7. A woman turned off her TV and noticed something unusual in its reflection.
So I was just recording this video because I just put my TV up, and in the reflection of the TV, I noticed that there's a figure standing over me.
It's a shadowy figure standing in the room. She stood frozen, watching the figure slowly move before disappearing entirely. The scary part is that she was all alone in her house. Many viewers were quick to offer explanations, ranging from a trick of the light to something paranormal. But let's be clear, we have to ask an important question. How do we explain things that seem so real, yet impossible? The woman later shared that she still couldn't sleep after seeing the figure, which makes you wonder, if it were you, would you be able to rest knowing something might be watching? Speaking of chilling sightings, a ghostly figure of a little girl caught on CCTV left a similar sense of dread. Little Girl Ghost. The YouTube channel scariest shared CCTV footage from November 2021 that showed a little girl crossing a road before disappearing into a nearby house. She appeared solid at first but moved with an otherworldly grace, as if she weren't entirely bound by physical laws. Was she a lost spirit seeking shelter, or something else entirely? Let's look at it again in slow motion. Some have suggested she was simply a child walking home late at night, but others pointed out the strange way she vanished once she entered the house. What's especially weird is the thought of her purpose. I mean, was she returning to a place she once called home, or was her appearance meant as a warning? This video raises more questions than answers, much like the next story of a ghost captured on a misty morning. Ghost in Rovington. This video was published by the YouTube channel Sparkies356. The video shows a man riding his bike through a misty trail. As he filmed his journey, a faint, human-like figure appeared in the background. The mist seemed to part around it, giving it an almost surreal quality. The rider insisted that no one else was on the trail that morning, and the figure wasn't visible to the naked eye. Was it a trick of the mist, or did the camera pick up something the human eye couldn't see? Either way, the sighting left viewers with a sense of unease, as if the peaceful morning ride had been interrupted by something not of this world. Baby reaction. This first video comes from a TikTok user at SlurpyQueenB. The footage shows a baby sitting in her carrier, slowly inching closer to the door. But what's unsettling is her reaction, as if she's sensing something no one else can see.
Cheyenne!
The baby's tiny hands reach out toward the doorway, and then she stops. Her expression was weird. She starts babbling, with her gaze fixed on something behind the door. From what we can see from the footage, it feels more like a conversation, an eerie interaction with something unseen. The nanny watching her can't help but feel the chills as she witnessed the baby seriously conversing and yelling in the air. What could she have seen or sensed? Moments like this leave you wondering about children's ability to sense the unknown. Are they simply curious, or are their innocent eyes seeing things we've trained ourselves to ignore? But the unsettling footage doesn't end there. In another clip, the baby is shown peacefully sleeping in a softly lit room, the glow of the nightlight casting gentle shadows. At first, everything appears calm, but then, a dark and shadowy figure moves across the room slowly. It's fleeting, almost imperceptible, but there's no mistaking its presence. Take a look at the slow motion. The parents, already uneasy, claim to have felt a strange connection between their child and an unseen entity. They recalled other incidents like this, which included soft murmurs in an empty room, toys moving inexplicably, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. The truth is, it seems the spirit wasn't just nearby, but was attached to their child. Some viewers suggest such spirits might be protective, or even a sign of a child's special gift. Do you agree with such a narrative? Whichever one, the thought of a shadow looming near a sleeping baby is enough to keep anyone awake at night. And as scary as this is, the next story delves into a chilling discovery. Figure in the background. This footage was uploaded by a YouTuber LeBron442 in June 2010. It starts as an ordinary scene. These friends were just hanging out in a basement with their voices filling the air with casual chatter. But as the camera pans across the room, one of them acknowledged he saw a figure in the background.
Are you serious?
Dude,
it's dark. I don't know where it's. I can't find it.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on.
Dude, I'm not staying in the
lights
Turn the lights on.
It's subtle, almost blending into the shadows, but unmistakably there. The group, oblivious to its presence, continues their conversation, one of them joking about a mouse they think they saw earlier. Later, while reviewing the footage in their new house, they spot a dark, humanoid shape lingering near the basement's back room. The realization hits hard. That wasn't a mouse. The eerie figure seems to linger, watching them. It raises an uncomfortable question. Was it tied to the house or had it followed? And just when you think it couldn't get darker, the next encounter takes you into the depths of a haunted forest. The Shadow Man. From one of the most legitimate paranormal investigation channels, A Paranormal Journey, a group of explorers venture into a forest known for its hauntings, armed with flashlights and bravado. As they were about to step into the dense woods, suddenly a shadowy figure emerged, partially obscured by the trees but undeniably present. The group didn't realize what had happened. The figure doesn't approach. If we slow the footage down, we can clearly see what appears to be a ghost sticking out his head. Footage reveals as it was lurking around, watching them as they conversed. Later they recall feeling an unnatural coldness, as if the Shadow Man had drained the warmth from the air. And that's not all. What this man saw in his basement will haunt your thoughts even more. Demon in the basement. The video begins in a house used only for storage, its rooms cluttered with forgotten belongings. The owner, recording water damage for repairs, inadvertently captures something else. As he pans the camera toward the basement, a dark figure peeks out from the doorway.
There. And then back here, we got, let's see, it's 6 to 8, because I think 3 of them fell on the ground.
Its eyes glinting faintly before disappearing into the shadows. He hadn't noticed it at the time, but saw it later while reviewing the footage. The next day, he returned to investigate and heard knocking from the basement door, followed by a sudden swarm of flies that vanished as quickly as they appeared. There were also other unexplained phenomena followed through. There were booming noises and a strange audio recording of heavy breathing when no one was home. And as terrifying as this is, the next event offers an equally unsettling glimpse of the unknown. Work shift ghost. The next clip was uploaded by a TikTok user hard to get to. This happened just before dawn, as a man prepares to leave for work. If you slow the footage down, you can see a ghost walking in, just as the man was locking his door. But as this man walks away, the camera also catches another ghostly figure following his back, slipping through the door, as if finishing a night shift of its own. Later, the man recounts how he always felt uneasy in that house, as though something lingered just out of sight. Some viewers believe the spirit might have been tied to the building, while others think it was merely passing through. Either way, the ghost's silent departure leaves an impression, a haunting reminder of how close the unseen world can be. And then, as nature shows its fury, the horrors take on a different form. Heavy rains in Chosica. The scene shifts to Chosica, where relentless rains have turned lives upside down. Homes are flooded, belongings scattered, and families are left scrambling to salvage what they can.
Una persona, un anciano, los niños, ¿cómo podrían bajar? Mira.
Don Isaac.
In the midst of the chaos, residents recount eerie occurrences which include strange shadows moving through the waterlogged streets and whispers carried on the wind. One elderly man insists he saw a figure standing at the edge of the floodwaters, vanishing as lightning lit up the sky.
Una persona, un anciano, los niños, ¿cómo podrían bajar? Mira.
Don Isaac.
While the community bands together to rebuild, the sense of unease lingers. The floods have left more than just physical scars. They've awakened old fears of spirits said to dwell in the region,